Hello my friends, I just wanted to show you a very quick little small short tutorial on painting a breaking wave. This is on my Patreon channel, but here's like a bit of a preview. I took a nice little slot out of this tutorial to show you what's going on over on Patreon. A lovely little breaking wave, lots of colours. I hope you do enjoy it. Take a look and see what you think. It's on my Patreon channel. And there's a reason for this. I just want to create some shading in under this spray. Now if this is becoming too complicated for you, by all means you can leave this out, alright? You can just leave it out and forget about it. But I thought I would just try it. It may all go completely pear-shaped, it may, but we'll see. Next, that lovely bright foamy splash up there. Let's go into some white, lots of thick white, and I'm thinking a hint of cerulean blue and a hint of Naples yellow. Watch and I'll show you. So let's just go along and dab, 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 dab. The next section is going to be, it may be quite tricky. I'm going to first add a little shadow to the spray just down here, look. Now I know there's none on the actual photograph. I'm going to just add a little touch of it anyway, just to make it more believable. Comes across like that. Now the next thing I'm going to do is start putting in these little squiggles. You see those? Lovely little squiggles, showing the foam kind of breaking up. Some of them are thick, some not so thick. And okay, we have a nice one. It comes kind of down like that, doesn't it? Disappears. And again, look, I'm not going to try and copy this too exact, but just to give you an idea of how you could do this. I think it's good practice. And there's a lot of those over here, isn't there? It really overtakes the painting on the right hand side. So let's just put plenty of them in. Let's take pure white on its own as well. We could just add a little dot pure white. And then go up and add some to the spray overhead as well, to really thicken it up. Now let me just stop and take a look. Okay, it's okay for now. There's little touches of shadow here and there in some of them. Now I know I'm probably overcomplicating this, and I hope you don't mind, but I really just wanted to make this nice. This area, I wanted to really make it nice over here. No, we'll pull that down. So you can still soften them together if you like. If you don't like them, you can just get rid of them. Pull them out, soften them in with that as well. You see, it's very easy. Just take some white, pop it on your knife, and just go around in little circles. That just creates lots of texture on the canvas, okay? That's all you have to do. Maybe over here, just brighten all that up along there. Okay. I will come down here a little bit, cover that in slightly. We start with that colour. We can always green it slightly then a bit more if we need to. A bit of blue, look, let's pull that colour in. So you can see what we're doing really is we're just putting the same colours throughout the painting, complementing the painting. And I think that's the key to a good composition. If you hear a lot of artists talking about composition, I know sometimes it can be difficult to follow, but what they're basically saying is, how does the painting look? How is everything interacting with each other on the canvas? How is the sky interacting with the foreground? And is there a nice balance there? That's generally what they're talking about. So if something looks out of place in your composition, then it's just not going to work. That's why they say, you know, leave something out. If something is clashing, you can just leave it out. Now, a little bit of a green, a nice kind of a dull green coming down here. I could even brighten it up actually. So what we're doing then is, the trick I suppose is not to have two completely different colours. You know, if that's a very dark green, then bring a little bit of green forward as well. That will really help. Now, my technique here really is just quite simple. Wiggle it around like lots of little snakes. You see that? That's the direction the foam tends to take when it's kind of on a very shallow beach. You see all these little snaky wiggles. I've often sat on a beach and looked, and you kind of just get the sense it's just lots of little wiggles and curves and bends and little flicks. It's a lot of that kind of stuff, okay? See what I mean? As it comes across, let's lighten it slightly and take more cadmium yellow and Naples yellow. So now I'm lightening it slightly more to kind of a light greeny colour, okay? There we are. Look, that's perfect. Take some Naples yellow on its own with my palette knife and just pop touches of that just here and there. Look, just one or two. Just to really show the light bouncing on the water, okay? Just a touch. Just around this area. I think that'll really bring it to life. Okay, I just tend to rush. But you can take your time. So when the foam is finishing, you're just bringing that down in here. Just leave the brush, just dance around now and go crazy with this, all right? Just pop loads of these little things in everywhere, all over the place. You can see how random it is. It's really random. I'm just going to take a bit of tissue on my hand here, just to make life easier. I'm just going to go along, rub it on the brush, pick up some more. It's up here. I'll take some white and a little bit of that bright green. And I'm just going to go around in circles, look, just like that. That's generally the beginning of my wave. When I do that, I'm just kind of getting the general shape, so I know where it's going. See what I mean? Just like that. Now we can go into some, let's get some of that white with a little phaylo blue. And then we can really start dabbing it in, look. See the tip of my brush? It's just all kind of broken out. I'm just tapping, tap, 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 look. Move the brush around and tap. It's that simple, folks. It really is. Just tap, 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 tap. And this really now is just the very top of the wave that I'm focused on. Now we have some lovely shadow down towards the bottom, don't we? What I'm going to do is take my small flat brush and put a nice dark line down under there. You can see it's a very dark greeny kind of a browny line, isn't it? Let's take some cadmium yellow, let's try some black cadmium yellow, and let's try a little bit of phthalo blue as well. Okay, I'm going to go for this dark greeny colour first. I'm just going to kind of push this in here and there, look. It's only a tiny suggestion. Let's take a bit of brown. Just because it's on sand, and there'll be a little bit of a sandy colour going on as well. And make it nice and random. Yes? Don't make it just a straight line completely all the way across. You can see the way it kind of goes up little bits and then down bits, and okay. And then I'm actually going to take some white. I'm going to get some white and some cerulean blue. I'm actually going to soften. Looking at the photograph, it seems to be almost kind of completely softened in, doesn't it? So I'm just going to kind of very randomly soften that back in slightly. So it's almost disappearing. It's kind of tumbling forward as it's coming. So I don't want this kind of solid line. It might be a little bit too pronounced, if you know what I mean. So I'll just soften it backwards. Just dab, 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 back. Back you go. I don't want you this close up, so back off. Dab, 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 leave it, soften it back. Okay? Now, I think that's a bit better, isn't it? Let's do all this. Come on, let's just paint all of this, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Lovely colours here. Some burnt umber. This beautiful colour down here is burnt umber. I think it's burnt umber. A little magenta. Some white. A lot of pink in this, so plenty of magenta. And some Naples yellow. I think we're not far off with that, are we? A bit more pink. You see the way I'm going up and down and up and down. It's not a perfectly straight line. And come down then. Let's just drag this across. Straight all the way across. Then you can see it starts kind of a greeny colour here, doesn't it? What I'm going to do is take some green. I'm going to mix some green. I'm going to go with black and yellow first, and then I'm going to add some white into that. So it's kind of a dirty, muddy kind of a green colour, I think, isn't it? Okay, let's go over here. And you can of course use a small pointy brush for this if you like. Whichever brush you're comfortable with, just use, okay? I want you to feel comfortable when you're painting along with me. And if you're not, it means I'm not doing my job. So whichever brush you like to use, you just use that brush. Okay, my friends, don't be shy. Now, I'm going to get some little flicks of bright colour. I want to darken that actually a bit. I'm going to take my other brush and I'm actually going to darken this with a bit of green. It's just kind of disappeared, you see it? So let's take a bit of brown, some black and a little blue. And maybe a touch of magenta, look, just a touch. I'm going to just soften that through there, look. Just want to darken it down just ever so slightly. I want to kind of create that dirty, sandy kind of feel to the paint. Okay, to this kind of beach area. Kind of a dirty, sandy colour, isn't it? Let's take some Naples yellow, magenta, even some burnt umber. So I've started now just darkening it first. I go really dark over on one side. wiggles and circles, S's, C's, all that kind of stuff. Lots of different shapes. Some lighter, some darker. Leave them disappear into this lighter one here then, okay? Okay, let's keep going. Now, wasn't this fun? I must say, I really enjoyed painting this. The colours really kind of drew me to it. I knew it was a toss-up between 1 and 2. I would love to paint number 1, but I just found a lot of blue in it, and I was hoping it would say this actually, because I love the colours. And look, we'll just transfer those ever so gently just onto the sand here, okay? Just a few, just 1 or 2. That's it, my friends. I think we're done. Now, I'm just going to soften this away off, just around the front. And what I'm going to do then is take a little fan brush and take a little burnt umber perhaps and some black, and I'm simply going to just add a little tiny amount of texture towards the front of the beach here, okay? Just so that it's not so flat. Do you understand what I mean? Just with the tip of your brush, give it a little texture. And there we are. I have one more job, everyone. I need a seagull, don't I? Let's put a nice seagull in up on the bright spot up here. A little black. Let's put a little neck, little head, and oh yeah, always the tip of the wings. They always seem to have a little tip of black on the wings, don't they? And that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this.